This meme is quite fitting for the news today. Justin Trudeau, I will fight climate change with everything you have. Yeah, absolutely. Giving away more money every single day. And with the news today of the Net Zero Accelerator Fund, $8 billion this time. This is a new scandal, a new slush fund, probably the biggest yet. Justin Trudeau was caught giving away $8 billion through another slush fund. The Liberals said this money would lower emissions, but Canada's Environment Commissioner revealed most of the money was handed out without promise to reduce emissions. Just given away, just absolutely given away. Here's the video here.
You won't believe this. We may have uncovered the most expensive scandal of Justin Trudeau's government to date. No, it's not We Charity or Arrive scam. This is even more expensive than both of those combined. And it's probably something you've never heard of. The Liberals call it their Net Zero Accelerator, and it's costing you $8 billion. Yes, $8 billion.
Just for context, Arrive scam has only reached about $60 million. And I say only as if that's not a lot of money. That's our money, our tax dollars, just being given away. And this has been headline news. I mean, people might go to jail over this, and hopefully people go to jail over that. But this is $8 billion with a B. That's $8,000 million.
Years ago, Justin Trudeau quietly announced his Net Zero Accelerator program, promising it would reduce greenhouse gas emissions. His plan was to give away billions of dollars to large companies in exchange for specific reduction in emissions. But last week, Canada's Environment Commissioner revealed that Trudeau's Net Zero Accelerator is nothing more than another Liberal slush fund. Is the government tracking the value for money for this program? Yes or no?
Not in a public way. We've made our own calculations of the value for money that we could based on the data they have, but we have seen no public reporting on the value for money, no.
We learned
this is incredible. Now, I got a tweet here from the Office of the Auditor General Canada. We'll get back to the video in just a moment. If the Net Zero Accelerator does not secure credible emissions reduction, the federal government might not fulfill its commitments, which would undermine its efforts to address climate change. This is not even addressing climate change. They're just giving away money. Another tweet said, funding offered under Net Zero Accelerator initiative failing to attract large emitters. Wow. Yeah. Unbelievable. Read the report. I'll leave a link in the description down below where you can go read the report yourself, but I'll let this video continue.
The Liberals are giving away billions of your dollars to reduce emissions without knowing how many emissions will be reduced. In fact, the Commissioner uncovered the Liberals approved most of their spending without any commitment to reduce emissions. Check this out. Did the government approve any funding through their $8 billion fund before knowing exactly how many emissions were supposed to be reduced?
Yes.
Really? For $8 billion?
So there are the majority of the contribution agreements do not have a commitment for reductions. 5 of them do.
And it gets worse. Not only are the Liberals handing out money without knowing the results, but we also learned they've been hiding the truth about their emissions data. Do you believe that this government is fully transparent with their emissions reporting data?
No, not fully transparent.
In fact, the Environment Commissioner revealed the Liberals could be double counting the emissions they claim to be reduced. Yes, double counting. Is this fraudulent? I'll let you be the judge. You're probably asking who this money was given to, right? And that's a hell of a good question. But no one knows the details because the Liberals refused to release the funding agreements. That's why Conservatives moved a motion to obtain these documents. We wanted to get to the bottom of this. What are they really hiding? Conservatives won't stop until the truth is revealed. Stay tuned.
Another slush fund, another way to take Canadian tax dollars and funnel it into Ottawa bureaucrats and friends of bureaucrats and friends of politicians. This is the ISED Canada government Twitter account. The Net Zero Accelerator initiative helps heavy emitting industries decarbonize to meet Canada's 2030 agenda. 2030 climate goals. That's what's more, it will shape our clean economy for decades to come. Yes, this is the 2030 agenda. Where does that sound familiar? Well, yeah, if you've seen anyone wearing one of these pins, you've probably heard about the 2030 agenda. These people are wearing this badge or destroying your future. Yeah, people are calling it the swastika. I kind of like that one, but it really is a conflict of interest badge. Too many of these in Ottawa wearing this in Parliament lets people in your riding know that you don't represent them. And this is what people need to be paying attention to. What kind of lapels are your riding's representatives wearing? This is where the rubber meets the road when it comes to moving forward here in Canada. People are waking up to this, and they don't want that kind of leadership in this country. And this is why this new message is the message that many people are really gravitating towards.
Uniting for freedom means no mandatory digital ID. Uniting for freedom means banning all of my ministers from any involvement in the World Economic Forum.
Now, of course, that's a largely popular message, as you can hear. People cheering loudly, and that's probably the loudest one that people are cheering about. And of course, you know, you have naysayers online about Pierre Poilievre, and I'll get to that in 1 second. But this is the result. People are moving towards the Conservative Party, and it's crazy. 229 seats projected on the latest Angus Reid poll. But yeah, people are saying, we don't believe him. He's not. He's a WEF guy himself. For this reason or whatnot. But it's great because some reporters have the actual wherewithal to ask important questions of people, and this is one here.
In the past several times, you have denounced the World Economic Forum, and you've made it clear to pledge that if your party forms government, you will ban your cabinet ministers from being involved with the World Economic Forum. Yet, I'm also aware of many Canadians who applaud you for saying that, but also have reservations on whether or not the claim is authentic because they see images of your name being on the World Economic Forum site, and also because you worked closely with former MP John Baird, who at one point was a World Economic Forum Young Global Leader in a campaign. So my question for clarification purposes, for those concerned about foreign globalist organizations potentially encroaching on our nation's sovereignty, does your pledge to ban cabinet ministers from being associated with or involved with the WEF expand to those you hire as staff as well as advisors?
Yes. No staff, no ministers, no MPs in my caucus will be involved whatsoever in that organization. It is a group of high-flying, high-tax, high-carbon hypocrites who all got on their private jets to fly off to a remote ski village where they talked about how working-class people should not be allowed to heat their homes or drive their pickup trucks. I'm not going to work for a group of globalist billionaires who serve their own interests at the expense of everyone else. And I'd like to specifically point out Mark Carney. Here he was celebrating the central banks who caused the inflation by printing trillions of dollars so that people like multimillionaires like him could have their asset values inflated, while the purchasing power of working class people and seniors was wasted away by inflation. A massive wealth transfer from the have-nots to the have-yachts. A common sense conservative government will bring home control of our democracy to this country, and it's not just on that issue. We will ban the IRGC to end the interference of the 700 agents that are operating in this country on behalf of the terrorist regime in Tehran, and that's according to Global News. We will shut down foreign-controlled police stations. We will bring in a foreign influence registry. We will bring home control of our democracy, and we'll make this a country that works for its people, the common people, and the common sense of the common people, united for our common home. Thank you.
And that's a message that resonates with lots of people. Again, showing the polls. You can see clearly where it's at. There's a big divide between the Liberals and the Conservatives now. Everybody else down here. I mean, you look at it realistically, it looks as if there's going to be a conservative government moving in next. And yeah, people want to see these things happen. These things come true. And it's amazing because there's the political class and commentators from the CBC or on the left wing just don't understand where this groundswell of support is coming from. They just don't get it. Like, people really, they're experiencing this economy and housing, all of the stuff that's coming with it, the price of food, the inflation that we're all seeing. This is what's happening. Marty Up North had this amazing clip that just astonished me. It says, have a listen. Warren and Charles. There's Warren Kinsella and Charles Adler. Adler. They have a podcast together. And there's a clip from this that is just really interesting. They both think the economy and everything else is moving along just fine. So they're just buying into it. Chrystia Freeland has to say about what's going on in the economy. This is very common of Liberals and their supporters. They live in a bubble. They're isolated from the realities of day-to-day life. It's proof that politicians and their advisors have stopped listening to us. They're just pushing their own narrative, and they can't understand why we'll have none of it.
You know, it had progressive stuff in it, and you're a progressive and you like progressive stuff. Not only did it not help them, it hurt them. You know, some people are now reporting the gap between the Tories and Liberals at 21 points. And, you know, basically the number seems to be a 20-point gap. Biden is struggling with the same problem. Like, if you're an incumbent these days, people are just mad at you. And I can't figure out why they're as mad as they are, because the economy is going pretty good and people's lives are pretty good.
Out to lunch.
Yeah, well, Warren Kinsella, I know if Charles Adler said the economy's good, facts are good, what's going on, Warren Kinsella would say, Chuck, I don't care about the facts. I'm a political analyst. I care about the feelings, and the people aren't feeling it. And when the folks start feeling it, then, you know, let me know. But at the moment, the folks in Canada and the United States aren't feeling a good economy. That's not
I disagree with you. It's you know, but it's bewildering. So, you know, Polyev has obviously hitched his wagon to this horse, the anger horse, and the fear stuff, and it's working. And Trump's doing the same thing. It's working, and you know, does it peter out? I'm a big believer. You know, I've run campaigns and helped campaigns during periods where there's lots of anger. So after 9/11, for example, let's go over there and kill them all, right? And, you know, mission accomplished and all that stuff. That was an angry period in our politics, but eventually it peters out, it dissipates. You know, people go, well, there are no weapons of mass destruction.
I'll tell you one thing. It doesn't peter out when the economy's getting worse and the people that put us there keep continuing to do the same thing. The new budget that came out is incredible. It's incredible that people would just continue to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. I think wasn't that coin? It was a coin from Einstein. I don't know if he actually said that, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, this is what they're doing economically in Canada, and it is absolutely going to bury us. And this is why there's a groundswell of support for the Conservatives at this time. But hey, let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the comment section down below and tell me, what do you think? Why is it that Liberals still have this faith that it's going good? I have no idea how that somebody could look at the situation, the situation on the street, and say that things are going good. It's incredible that anybody actually believes that. Buying into CBC and what their talking points are. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.